Hi everyone, welcome to the Girlglow DIY channel. Today we're making this mini beaded bag. This is a step-by-step guide. If you run into any issues, just drop your questions in the comments, and I'll be there to help. If you find this video useful and haven't subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it, please. I have more to share with you on the way. Now let's dive into the tutorial. To complete the beaded bag, we need around 1,200 pieces of 8mm bright beads, 2 O-rings with a 2.5 cm inner vise, a 20mm magnetic buckle, and a mantle shoulder chain. Let's begin by cutting a 2 to 3 meter length fishing line. Adding 4 beads to one end, equalizing both ends to avoid waste. Creating a loop by reinserting the thread into the bead it came out of to get a thread loop. Passing the other line through the thread loop to form a knot, and pull both lines tightly to get the knot into the center of the bead. Which will secure our first bead loop. And then we will continue by adding 3 beads. 2 beads to one line and 1 bead to the other, each time for subsequent loops, until we complete 11 bead loops for the first row. Now we've just finished 11 bead loops for the first row, so let's finish the last one by adding 3 beads to the right thread and reinserting it into the bead it emerged from. Then securing the knot in the center of the bead. Later, we will begin the second row with 3 beads for the first loop and continue with 2 beads for the following loops. Continue weaving until you reach and finish 21 rows to complete the main body of the bag. We have now completed the main body of the bag using the method we discussed earlier. We now have 21 rows with 12 bead loops for each row. Next, we will focus on creating the sides. To begin, locate the 8th beads, fold them, and stand one side up. Then insert a new fishing line through the 8th and 9th beads. To complete the first bead loop, add 2 beads to the upper thread and then insert the thread back through to create a thread loop. Next, pass the other thread through this thread loop. Pass the lower thread through the left 4 beads at one time, adding 2 beads each time to get the subsequent 3 bead loops. When we reach the last bead loop, insert the left thread into the upper left bead and add 1 bead to this thread to finish the first row. Continue this process until you reach the last 3 rows. Here we have only 3 rows left to complete this entire side. To ensure we can smoothly complete the next step of making the handle, the method for the 2nd and 4th bead loops in the last 3 rows will be slightly different from the previous methods. We will directly cross the 2 threads through the bead to get a loose bead loop without creating any knot. Repeat this process when making the 4th bead loop on the left 3 rows. behind the ends of 2 threads by passing around the bead loop. Insert a new fishing line through the 2nd and the 5th bead of the 2nd bead row after completing the whole side. Do not forget to add 1 bead between them. After that, add 1 O-ring before finish this bead loop. Repeat the whole process on the other side. Create another bead panel consisting of 6 rows with 7 bead loops in each row by using the method demonstrated in the body part craft. Next, simply attach this panel to the body. Thread 1 end of a new fishing line through the 4th bead. Then, pass the other end to the new panel after adding 1 bead. Complete the first bead loop by adding 1 more bead. For the subsequent bead loops, thread through the beads on each side and add 1 bead each time. Create a new bead panel consisting of 3 rows, each containing 14 bead loops, using the method demonstrated in the body part craft. Next, fold the other 2 rows and thread the line through the 2 beads on the 2nd and 3rd rows. Connect the 1st and 3rd rows together by adding 1 bead each time. Now the bag is nearly finished. All that's left to do is to attach the handle to the body. Anyone who reaches this step will see how easy it is to connect these two parts together, as we've already demonstrated several times in the previous step of this video. I don't have any more to add, so just keep watching.